what Israel is doing. I honestly don't know how to describe this gaslighting feeling that we're getting when we hear Americans and American politicians saying that they're trying to protect us. We're Israelis, we're saying clearly this does not protect us. Writing blank checks to Netanyahu, who does not care even about the hostages, 134 still in Gaza tunnels. This does not help us, it does not protect us. You need to help us make it stop. We're going to hear from a lot of speakers today. We're very lucky that our friends from Standing Together are in New York right now and they will speak. And hopefully will give us some hope. We host speakers and organizations from a wide range of ideologies here. Everyone has different ideas for long-term plans for Israel-Palestine. But one thing we all agree on, it's crystal clear, and more people are joining this call every week. Ceasefire has to happen now. Hostage deal has to happen now. Ceasefire now! 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 Ceasefire home! Bring them home! Now! Bring them home! 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 Also, just a reminder again, we'll be here every week. Please keep coming.
Hello everyone, my name is Eli Kelchanan. I am a board member of the American Friends of Combatants for Peace and a founding member of Combatants for Peace, the movement. I came here to speak, to say thank you. A great deal of gratitude for people who keep coming, who keep showing up every week. It has been 170 days that this nightmare has been going on, that Israel is seeking vengeance of the Palestinian citizens over its failings, over its inability to put an end to the occupation. We have been asked to see the error of our ways. We have been asked to see that there is no hope for peace, and we refuse. We are here every week to say there is a hope for peace and there is an end for, there is a reason for Israeli-Palestinian joint struggle. We will hear soon from the leaders of Standing Together, which I would like to recognize and I would like to express my admiration. This is the thing we need to support, and this is the thing that we need to support right now with utmost urgency. It's been 170 days that every institution, nationally and internationally, that is supposed to uphold human values has been failing. 33,000 dead in Gaza. Thousands of displaced in Israel. The hostages are still there, the prisoners are still there in the Israeli prisons. The communities in the West Bank are still terrorized, hundreds are dying, and nobody is doing anything. The only thing that is developing, I have to say, is this. It is small, it is hardly anything, but it is growing. We in Combatants for Peace now started for, what is this, the 17th time to organize the Alternative Memorial Day ceremony. Something started 17 years ago as an insane gesture to piss off the Israeli public has become a locus for a counter movement that believes in sharing grief and in a joint hope. We have grown exponentially every year. This year we have challenged ourselves more. We are explicitly connecting this day with the Palestinian catastrophe, with our commemoration of the Nakba Day, challenging ourselves, challenging our supporters to see this connection. And they respond. they respond and they support us. We can see this in small events, in small moments that are tiny, like flickers of light, but they are there against this darkness. The book A Paragon that details the friendship of my father with the founder of Combatants for Peace, Bassam Aramin, who has lost his daughter at the hand of Israeli police, was a worldwide success. No one in Israel agreed to translate it. No one in Israel agreed to publish it until one of ours, Ishai Menuhin from Yesh Gvul, took it upon himself. It was crowdfunded and it came out, and today I learned that the second edition sold out. I am sure you will hear about it from the leaders here of Standing Together, how people flock to their events. We are not alone, we have power, we need resilience, we need to keep doing this with a sense of urgency and a great deal of patience. We will overcome. Thank you.
Ceasefire now!
There is!
Ceasefire now! Military solution! There is no 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 military solution!
Let us clear up the confusion. Killing can't be the solution.
Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution! Let us clear up that confusion! Killing can't be the solution!
This nightmare can be ended. Gazans must be defended.
This nightmare can be ended. Gazans must be defended.
This nightmare can be ended. Gazans must be defended.
This nightmare can be ended. Gazans must be defended.
This nightmare must be ended. Everyone must be defended.
This nightmare must be ended. Everyone must be defended.
This nightmare must be ended. Everyone must be defended.
This nightmare must be ended. Everyone must be defended.
What is broken must be mended. Apartheid will be ended.
What is broken must be mended. Apartheid must be ended.
What is broken must be mended. Apartheid will be ended.
What is broken must be mended. Apartheid will be
We're
ended.
not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now and bring them home.
We're not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now and bring them home.
We're not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now, bring them home.
We're not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now and bring them home.
Not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now, bring them home.
We're not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now and bring them home.
Not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now, bring them home.
We're not afraid to say shalom. Ceasefire now and bring them home.
Hello, my name is Felisa Wisdom, and I'm proud to lead New York Jewish Agenda. NYJA is a political home and organizing body for liberal Jewry across our city and state. For the majority of Jewish New Yorkers whose shared values motivate them to promote social justice, combat anti-Semitism, this is going to be a challenge. Yeah, thank you, Yael. Thank you. I'm honored to be here today with Rabbi Rachel Timoner and Controller Brad Lander, founders and leaders of NYJA. I'm also here with my visiting mom, who taught me about social justice, as well as my best friends and their beloved Israeli baby, Yali. It is in his name and for all children growing up between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea that I ache and pray for an immediate end to this war and a plan for a new way forward. All children in the region are someone's entire world. All in the land are divine sparks. All deserve a democracy to call their own, 2 states for 2 peoples, and leaders committed to their safety and liberty. In 2023, Naija was in the streets with Israeli and diaspora New York Jews protesting Bibi Netanyahu's attempted judicial coup in solidarity during one of the greatest domestic uprisings of the century because of our deep care for Israel. What happens in Israel, where almost half the world's Jews live, has intense ripple effects throughout the diaspora. New York is home to the largest Jewish community outside Israel, and our communities and futures are closely connected. We knew then, as we know now, that Bibi is not a leader who shares our values of pluralism, human rights, and democracy. That movement is closely connected to this one. True democracy cannot exist alongside occupation and state-sponsored settler violence. American Jews feel anguish about the threats to our own democracy, and we can relate to the shame and pain of having a megalomaniacal would-be dictator and criminal at the highest level of government. Over here, we cannot forget who's in the driver's seat of this war effort, and cannot be surprised that his coalition's goals do not align with ours, a solution where Palestinians and Israelis can live side by side in safety and security. Bibi rejects our concerns while demanding our support, and our local Senator Chuck Schumer was right to name him as one of 4 major impediments to peace. And now we watch in horror from across the world as Bibi and his far-right cronies prosecute a war with no clear strategy or plan, killing tens of thousands of civilian Palestinians, including thousands of children, and telling the international community the collateral damage is worth the aims. October 7th was a shocking tragedy. That day and in the days since, the ground underneath the Jewish people worldwide is shaking. The hostages must be freed, and we must stand in solidarity with the families begging for their government to prioritize a deal. I'm thinking especially of Noah Argamani, who was taken from the music festival and has been in captivity since, whose terminally ill mother holds out hope every day of seeing her daughter again. Noah must come home. There must be a hostage exchange deal. The goal of destabilizing Hamas is a worthwhile one, and the peoples of both Palestine and Israel deserve to be free of its influence. But expert after expert says this is not a realistic process to meet this goal. While their leaders are underground or abroad and everyday citizens are in harm's way, this is not the way. We don't have to be experts to see with our own eyes and understand with our own hearts that this collective revenge will not bring back the innocent lives lost on October 7th. It will not get us closer to a world where this never happens again. In fact, as has been said many times, it is refueling the hatred and hopelessness that drives people toward Hamas and other groups like it. If we support a war with this much death and starvation, especially as Jews by the Jewish state, we have lost our humanity. We have strayed from our core values. Diplomacy now. Hostage deal and bilateral ceasefire now. Peace and collective liberation as our North Star now, even when it seems so far off. Sally and Alon Lee and Rula and the whole Standing Together community have communicated to the world that we must muster the imagination for a new way. We must follow their lead toward a vision for peaceful coexistence on the land. Our vision of safety cannot come at the expense and safety of others, in Israel or in the diaspora. Thank you to Israelis for Peace for organizing this weekly vigil. We are moved by your courage, we share your values, and we are grateful to join you in standing up for them. We hope Jewish New Yorkers who share our values will join New York Jewish Agenda to stand up for them here in New York as well. I will see you next week, but hopefully not the week after. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
We are running out of time.
Netanyahu must resign. We are running out of time. Netanyahu must resign.
We are running out of time. Netanyahu must resign.
We are running out of time. Netanyahu must resign.
We are running out of time. Netanyahu must resign.
We are
exchange today.
All kids deserve to pay. Hostage exchange today.
They should be home yesterday. Hostage exchange today.
They should be home yesterday. Hostage exchange today.
Ceasefire, there's no other way. They should all be home today.
Ceasefire, there's no other way. They should all be home today.
Ceasefire, there's no other way. They should all be home today.
Ceasefire, there's no other way. They should all be home today.
Not another drop of blood. Everyone for everyone.
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 לא רוצים אותם. כולם תמורת כולם.
לא רוצים אותם. כולם תמורת כולם.
לא רוצים אותם.
כולם תמורת כולם. לא רוצים אותם. כולם תמורת כולם.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, freedom and equality.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
From the river to the sea, all must have security.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Bring them home 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 now!
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, I'm New York City Comptroller Brad Lander. I'm so glad to have become a regular here at this vigil, and I want to start by saying thank you to the Israeli peace activists who are organizing this every week as a space for all of us to be able to cry out as we need to. So please join me in saying a big thank you to Israelis for Peace and all the organizers here. It is extra special this week that we're joined by our friends from Standing Together, to Rula and Alon Lee, and as the highest ranking Jewish New Yorker in New York City municipal government, it is an extra special pleasure for me to welcome Haifa Council Member-elect Sally Abed and Tel Aviv Council Member-elect Itamar Avneri. I guess I feel compelled to point out that if Chuck Schumer were here, and we should invite him next week because he's calling for Bibi to resign now, as we are, he would point out that he's the highest ranking Jew ever in American government, but I digress. You may not have been that focused on municipal elections in Israel, and that is as it should be. Our attention must be on Rafah, where more than a million displaced Palestinians are still sheltering amidst bombs and facing imminent ground invasion, just intense. Our attention must be on growing starvation and how it can be that the Israeli government is waging a war that the U.S. is funding, where now 70% of Gazans are facing starvation, the largest number of food insecure people at risk of starvation, the UN says, in the history of the planet. Our attention must be on the hostages now in 170 days of captivity, observing Purim with Hamas as the modern day Haman in such a brutal reliving of tragedy. Our attention must be, as it is, showing up to demand a ceasefire and hostage release now. To demand an end to this war and a path to something else. That is where our attention must be. But you'll have to forgive me as a local elected official for having focused on these municipal elections in Israel. And I want to tell you why I think they point a path forward. Sally Abed, who you're going to hear in a minute, and who is now a Haifa council member-elect, somebody who grew up in an Arab village in the Galilee, who from a young age started calling out for justice, and who now has helped build this powerful organization to bring Palestinians and Israelis together to build a different solution. Let's hear it for her. Itamar Avneri, another member of this purple-powered electoral movement, was just elected to the Tel Aviv City Council. He was honored last year at Congregation Beth Elohim, where I got to meet him. Thank you, Rabbi Timoner. And he's going to be sharing the mandate, sharing the seat. That's a thing they do in Israel that we don't do here, with a young woman that I got to meet a few years ago, Maya Peretz Ruiz. She is, I kid you not, a Mizrahi Nicaraguan Israeli Jew. Her father, a Mizrahi Jew from Morocco, her mom from Nicaragua. When I met her, she was an organizer with Koach LaOvdim, Power to the Workers, a union. And the set of people she was organizing are the East Jerusalem Palestinian bus drivers who drive the settlement buses. Maybe one of the worst jobs invented in human history, spat on by their settler customers, rocks thrown at them by their Palestinian cousins. And the fact that those jobs are called into being is enough to break your heart. And the fact that their labor organizer is a Mizrahi Nicaraguan Jewish Israeli says something better is possible when we organize together. And look, as much as I love local politics, I don't want to overstate what can be done from a city council. Sally and Itamar and Maya will not be able to bring peace. There was an enormous right-wing majority elected in the Jerusalem City Council, and far-right Knesset members still are pushing for ethnic cleansing and worse from the Knesset. But politics matters. And here's why. Because war dehumanizes. You can't do this if you don't stop seeing other people as human beings. And we see that there, God knows. But we see it here too. And what you answer it with is politics in which you insist that every single human being is entitled to just one equal vote to the same set of political rights, and that you build movements, not only electoral, but nonviolent civil disobedience like we're engaged in here, like Standing Together does, in the tradition of King and Gandhi, to insist that everyone has those rights together, and that the only way to build them is by organizing step by step by step. And there will need to be local elections too in Rafah and in Hebron. People will need to be able to have real authority over their government. And of course, if it's going to be a democratic Palestinian state, to say no to Hamas and terrorism and war. And it's so hard to feel now like that's anywhere close. And yet the way you build it is by showing up and running for local office, and by showing up and organizing and demanding peace and building a powerful movement together that turns away from war, that asks the questions, do people have enough housing? How will our kids be educated together? Is the water clean? How do we make sure that all our neighbors are safe? Because local government also is about making peace with neighbors, is about keeping people safe. And so what I believe is that the work that Sally and Itamar and Maya are doing is the work that points the way forward, that reminds us that while the solution is so difficult, it's also quite clear. So what I want to say, Itamar and Sally, is Yasher Koach, Mabruk, from strength to strength. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all.
War has no winners. War has no winners. War has no winners. War has no winners.
Take your fingers off the triggers, war can never have a winner.
Take your fingers off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger, war can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger, war can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger, war can never have a winner.
Take your finger off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
War starvation is a crime, Netanyahu must resign.
War starvation is a crime. Netanyahu must resign.
War starvation is a crime, Netanyahu must resign.
War starvation is a crime. Netanyahu must resign.
Soon he'll be doing time, Netanyahu must resign.
Soon he'll be doing time. Netanyahu must resign.
Soon he'll be doing time, Netanyahu must resign.
Soon he'll be doing time. Netanyahu must resign.
He has lost his fucking mind, Netanyahu must resign.
He has lost his fucking mind. Netanyahu must resign.
He has lost his fucking mind, Netanyahu must resign.
He has lost his fucking mind. Netanyahu must resign.
Bibi, Bibi, run and hide, New Yorkers hate apartheid.
Bibi, run and hide. New York hates apartheid.
Bibi, Bibi, run and hide, New York hates apartheid.
Bibi, Bibi, run and hide. New York hates apartheid.
Let Gaza live.
Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. Let Gaza live. All right.
Okay, hi everyone. It's very overwhelming for us to come here and to do this here, and thank you. Really thank you for doing this, for the commitment, for the dedication, for the messaging. And I guess Brad said a little bit about me. I'm Sally Abed. I live in Haifa. I'm originally from Ma'alia, which is in the northern part of Israel, near the Lebanese borders. And I guess, I'm part of the national leadership of Naqif Ma'an, Amdin Biyachad, standing together. And a little bit about the movement, just so people understand what we're doing back home. I will do in a minute, but obviously everyone here acknowledged at what moment we are at the moment, in Israel, Palestine. It is important for me to acknowledge that myself as well. And it is really extremely hard to be able to describe what I'm about to describe, and knowing that I can't do that back home in the same way, in the same freedom, in the same... I don't have actually the right to protest, to grieve my people, to grieve the tens of thousands dead, the tens of thousands who are orphaned, the hundreds of thousands displaced, the millions actually displaced and starved right now. About the West Bank, people getting abducted right now, taken from their homes, from their beds, from the street, detained politically with no right for trial, people being killed and facing ethnic cleansing in the West Bank by settlers, backed by the state army. And talking about my own people in Israel, the Palestinian citizens of Israel. On October 7th, my mom called me, and she called me really panicking. She said, "Sally, this is different." After we understood the magnitude of the massacre, after we understood the magnitude of the Hamas attack, she called me and she told me, "Shut the fuck up. The master is hurting." And the reason why I share this story is not to shock you, but to deliver what kind of reality we live in Palestinians in Israel. I think in many ways our story, of the Nakba and staying with the hegemonic society, with the oppressing society, under the government that is occupying your people, really shapes the dynamic very differently. It's a conditioned democracy, conditioned existence, conditioned citizenship, and really sanctioning us to depoliticize, to shut the fuck up. But we refuse to shut the fuck up. And my mom understands that too, don't worry. And in many ways, I start imagining what is our role right now. We are really, as a movement, what we're trying to do is build the political will, the political capital within the Israeli society to end the military control, to strive for freedom, equality, and independence for all people. And we understand that it has to come from the Israeli society out of two main fundamentals. One is that Israel is the hegemonic side, is the controlling side, is the oppressor side, and unless we elect leaders, we have leaders who have the intention to provide our people, the Palestinian people in the land, with the equality and freedom that we deserve, the imperative of our liberation, it won't actually happen. It needs to come from the Israeli society. But we also understand that to do that, we cannot simply morally lecture the Israeli public. We cannot simply morally lecture people and shout the ugly, ugly, ugly truth in their faces. Also because it doesn't work, but also because we understand that the Jewish Israeli public, like the Palestinian Israeli public, like the Palestinians, also have what to gain from Palestinian freedom. When we community organize, you need to build people's politics. And to build people's politics, I can't expect Alonli or Itamar or any Jewish Israeli partner with me to join me for my fight for peace, for equality, and for freedom, to do that only out of saving me. I can't accept that. In fact, I'm not interested in that. Because we will never be able to build an equal, real co-leadership for collective liberation unless my Jewish partners also have a deep interest to advance peace and to advance our struggle for ending the occupation and for Palestinian freedom. Because Jewish safety is dependent on Palestinian freedom. We're also building a different kind of Palestinian leadership within Israel that has never existed before. In order for me to co-lead and to build this political will, I also need to assume responsibility not only over my Palestinian society, my Palestinian people in Gaza, in the West Bank, in the diaspora, and in Israel, but I also need to assume responsibility and see the injustices and the inequalities within the Israeli society. And yes, they exist. I think when people, listen to me talk about these things, standing together, being in the middle ground. We're not the middle ground. We're a completely new ground. You cannot stand in the middle when you acknowledge the power differential, when you acknowledge the hegemony, when you acknowledge the incomparable cost that we pay as Palestinians for decades. We cannot compare, and therefore we cannot stand in the middle. We can, however, decide to shift completely into a new ground that understands that there are 7 million Jews on the land and there are 7 million Palestinians in the land, and we all deserve to live equally, freely, and independently, and that's where we should start. And just one last thing, Brad and everyone here celebrated our victory, our election last week, 3 weeks ago. And I just want to note one thing. I know everyone is really, celebrating that, but I really want to emphasize the impossibility of the task that we had. And the magic, it's not magic actually, it's people. People are magic. People do the impossible. The fact that we had the audacity to believe that a joint Jewish-Palestinian slate, led by a Palestinian woman for the first time in history, exactly now at this moment, exactly now at the darkest times where everything seems impossible, to be able to organize one of the most amazing grassroots campaigns in Haifa, a joint binational city, and to be able to get elected is just something, a testimony. It's not about me. It's about the amazing hope that we can bring and the incredible change that we can imagine by organizing people and talking about their real lives, about real politics, about real people's politics. For the next years, our mission is going to be to build the people's peace movement in Israel. That's going to be our mission. A people's peace movement, and peace doesn't just mean ending the war and stopping the death. Peace means justice. Peace means equality. Peace means that we deserve to thrive and to prosper on our land. And we all deserve freedom, equality, and we deserve to prosper. And thank you. And really, our upcoming months and years are going to be critical, but we can do it as long as we insist on building people's politics. Thank you so much. Salam, حرية, shalom, بخيروت لكلنا. تודה. شكرا.
From the river to the sea, everybody must be free. From the river to the sea, everybody must be free. From the river to the sea, everybody
us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
This is Union Square. We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
We will not let them divide us. We will win when we're united.
Take your fingers off the triggers. War can never have a winner.
Take your fingers off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Take your fingers off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Take your fingers off the trigger. War can never have a winner.
Safety is what peace delivers. War can never have a winner.
Safety is what peace delivers. War can never have a winner.
Safety is what peace delivers. War can never have a winner.
Safety is what peace delivers. War can never have a winner.
Ceasefire, there's no other way. Hostage exchange today.
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 Thank you so much, everyone who shows up every week to this protest and showing up today, even if it's your first time. Thank you for coming. Please join us. We'll be here every Sunday at 4 p.m. until the war is over. Thank you so much to Standing Together. They had to run to their fundraiser, but if you did not have a chance to get tickets to the fundraiser or donate money yet, there is a barcode here, a QR code that you can scan and actually send them money, which they definitely need. There's also a QR code right here that Isaac is holding. That's if you want to join our quiet WhatsApp group where we update about our activities. So if you have signs, please put them back there behind everyone. And we'll be here every Sunday at 4 p.m. until the war is over. Every Sunday at 4 p.m. Thank you.